Hi folks, it's Danny at Bradley James Classic Cars, and today I'm bringing you an instantly recognisable classic car from 1967. It is, of course, a Morris Minor two-door. It's in wonderful condition. It's having had a recent restoration, which is including a very expensive bodywork restoration. This colour is taupe, or rose taupe. It looks wonderful. I guess it's a very sort of light brown, grey brown is the best way of describing it. It's in just really superior condition all round. This car is ready to just jump in and enjoy. Take it to the local car show and expect to do quite well, because the condition is in rather remarkable condition for a car which is now, my word, it's coming up for 55 years old. In fact, it's already 55 years old. I can't believe it. It's very correct in that it has the ivory coloured wheels which match the grille. The chrome work is in really nice order. It's got these wing mirrors which look great, and they're the correct ones. A little accessory here is to put a little hood over the lamps. I think you have to give it a bit of extra chrome. This is the sort of third generation of the Morris Minor. You could say a Mark III. Now this has a 1098cc, which is the largest engine they fitted to the Morris Minor. And if you're actually going to own one, use it on a regular basis, I think it's fair to say that the 1098 is probably the model which has got the longer legs and able to keep up more so with the flow of traffic and fly up the hills a little better. Earlier cars which are quite desirable, obviously there's the low light models, there's the split screens, there's the earlier models, and they have much smaller engines. They are wonderful and charming, just probably not quite as able to be as relevant from a performance point of view with modern traffic. So the 1098 is where I recommend people go if they're going to be using the car on a regularish basis, because you will enjoy the extra performance. Now I'm going to get up close and show you the car because it deserves to be seen up close, and I'm going to start at this offside wing, and you can see its lovely shiny paintwork, gleaming in fact. Lovely at the bottom of those doors. It's a very tiny crack here in the paintwork. I'm getting fussy, but the rear arches, rear wings, the roof, the back panel, these bumpers, look how good the chrome is. It's like new, the chrome. A bit of mild patina, I think is the word I'm allowed to use to describe this. A little split in the paintwork there, something very minor. They've got a good sized boot actually, and a little shelf that has the spare. This one has the tools. It looks to have a stainless steel exhaust. I'm going to get really close up, and if you can see what that looks like all there, you see it's all been painted. That's the underside of the car. Looks just like that. So it's all rock solid underneath. It's been restored to a nice standard, and the paintwork is outstanding. Again, I'm going to try and point out, can you see a bit of a crack in the paintwork here? Again, I'm trying to point out any minor little imperfections. The paint is a very strong aspect of this car, just how good it is, and it does look really good. The engine's lovely and clean as well. I'm going to open the bonnet up and show you that. Now, the seats and the carpets are all red. A little bit of a rip in that seat. The passenger side not so, and a bit of wear to the top. The rear seat there, obviously these are all original, the seats. The carpet looks to have been replaced, and the headlining is in pretty wonderful condition, as is the dashboard and the original steering wheel, and the little indicator that has the bulb on the end. Pretty basic. You don't have a great deal of instrumentation to learn in these cars. Now if I pull the bonnet, and that's a little metal hook underneath the dashboard, I'm going to walk round, and with the one hand trick, they're quite easy at Morris Minor. You only can just push that little thing down and you can see how it opens. Now this is really nice. all like a stone chip design, I guess, which is hard wearing paintwork, all in the correct taupe. A nice green engine like Morris used to paint them. It's running a dynamo. Looks like a stainless steel stabilizer bar, which is quite nice. That single carburetor, fuel filter here, and you can see just how nice and clean and green this engine is. All the top of the radiator is painted as well. So this is a very pretty engine bay, and it looks like it's got a larger than normal size battery, an 065, which does help its excellent starting. Now this all looks present and correct here. I can't see any modifications on this car, because sometimes Morris Minors, for example, there may be an alternator there, or it may have a servo. It may have disc brakes. Sometimes you see them with a 1275 engine in, which is usually in a Tau or Morris Marina engine, and occasionally you see them with a 5-speed gearbox, but not so. This car has kept its originality, which I think is always best. You actually do need to drop the bonnet down from a slightly better height, and that's that sharp. So mileage wise, we can never really be sure with these old classic cars, but I noticed it has 34,000 displayed. Now I'm not sure if that's just 34, 134, could be 234, but the engine looks to have been rebuilt, and it certainly is nice and tight. We've done a compression test. The car has been through the workshop and she's rock solid. I think I mentioned earlier we supply our cars with a year MOT, and then they have a PDI, which is a pre-delivery inspection. This car looks lovely and it also drives lovely, and I think you will have lots of admiring glances driving this around in this condition. We can help with full UK delivery at sensible prices, and we can also trade in your existing classic car, your modern car, or even a light commercial. We try very hard to facilitate a deal, and we always offer a fair price for a trade-in. In fact, a lot of our stock comes in through trade-ins. If the cars are good, we will resell them. If they're not in such good condition, then we dispose of them through the trade. So even if your car isn't looking like this one and it's more of a project, still give us a try, because we will do our best to take your old car away for a fair price. Now, I can't get right under the car, but again, if you just have a little look to see the standard of the painting of the underside, you can see the spring. It's absolutely rock solid underneath. There are a bit of a concern, some of these classic cars, that you can end up having serious corrosion problems, or you can have cars that have been restored like this one, which are going to be good for many years to come. So overall, I think this is one of the nicer Morris Minors, if not the nicest, we've offered as a two-door, third generation with a 1098cc engine, fully synchromesh gearbox. Earlier cars weren't fully synchromesh, so you had a crunching in the lower gears. Not so with this one. This one's a hoot to drive. The suspension on these are really comfortable and they look great, and everyone loves a Morris Minor, surely. A quintessential British car. Nice effective heaters, so they can be used all the year round. Obviously these classic cars don't have all the creature comforts of a modern car, but my God, they really do have the charm. This is a wonderful colour scheme actually, and as I said earlier, even though this car is not concours and restored within an inch of its life, it has been restored very nicely and very originally, but it would look great at a car show in this condition, because it really does look very sharp. Beautiful colour scheme. Well folks, this is Danny at Bradley James Classics signing out. Thank you for watching today's video.